It's time for another closer look at a key Kentucky Derby contender.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Another edition of my top 5 Kentucky Derby prospects this week. And boy, I'm all alone. Magic has left me. And so I said, hey, you got to do it yourself. I said, all right, I'll do it. So Magic has left us. I guess I've sickened him with the top 5. Hopefully I don't this week. Well, if you've been watching last week and this week's top 5 will be the same. So I'll explain why again. I've got them ranked how I do. And then also give you a little bit of an update on what's happened with a couple of them. Had some workouts to kind of talk about. So we'll kick it off. Number 5 was still, like I said, they're all going to be the same as last week. Number 5 is White Abarrio, the Florida Derby winner. You got to love the running style of the horse. Can just sit off the pace, does not have to be on the lead, and can pounce at the right time. And like we talked about, the Florida Derby was not a perfect trip for this horse. He was wide on both turns. It didn't matter. He showed up and he won, and he was able to hold off and erratically running Charge It. Maybe if Charge It runs straight, he doesn't. But still, he picks up the win, no problem whatsoever. Quick update on him. He did have his first work back on 4/17. So I'm recording this video on 4/18. So yesterday, he had a work at Gulfstream Park. He went 3 furlongs and 34 and change. He got a bullet, 1 out of 41 for that work. So White Abarrio staying sharp, kind of a maintenance work there before, he'll put in his serious work probably next week towards the Kentucky Derby. So it's nice to see White Abarrio sharp though, and running that bullet there at Gulfstream Park in the morning. All right, let's talk about Messier next. That's who I have at number 4. Like I said, I'm kind of down on him. I really don't think he should have lost that race to Taba. He turned for home with the lead and got beat. That's not a great sign. But the big thing with Messier, and this is kind of something new from last week to this week that we can talk about, boy, the speed horses, they're not really there right now. They're kind of defecting. We had Classic Causeway drop out, and we had Forbidden Kingdom. Well, that's 2 horses that probably would have been ahead of Messier that he won't have to worry about. To me, he will become more attractive with a good post, and if the pace kind of sets up how we project it right now on April 18th, which is going to look to be a ton of it there. Johnny V has went gate to wire in this race 2 years in a row. He'll try to do it, in my opinion, with Messier. I think he sends him to the front and tries to take him gate to wire. If Messier can get a nice middle post on, maybe 5 through 10, I think he's in good shape here. I think he's going to sip the trip. He's going to be the one they have to run down. So he's still dangerous, even though I'm kind of mad at him right now. He's still dangerous. I've got him at number 4. Number 3 is Zandon. I'll keep him there at number 3 after the Bluegrass win. As we look, the 2 losses, I should say, that Zandon has. The first one was his first time going long. He was coming from a sprint to a 1.1 miles in the Rimson against Mo Donegal, a horse who won the Wood. But Zandon was head-to-head with him the whole time. He lost kind of a dirty head bob, and really Mo Donegal probably should have been disqualified from that race. He really pressed Zandon hard up against the rail there a couple times. So it was kind of a really nice effort from him. And then the loss on the Risen Star, well, it was his first out as a 3-year-old. And we've seen the Chad Brown horses really don't fire first out as a 3-year-old. We've seen that pattern. Highly motivated, last year before really jumping up and almost beating Essential Quality in the Bluegrass. And then think about Good Magic, who was the 2-year-old of the year. He went down to Gulfstream and he was not good in the Holy Bull. He looked bad. And then, bam, really jumped up and ran a very nice race to win the Bluegrass. So, you don't really hold that 3rd place effort against him. And past all that, he got beat by Epicenter, who was a very nice horse. Obviously, we're going to talk about him in just a second. And Smile Happy, who ran a very nice race that day as well. So, and is also in the Kentucky Derby. So, I think these 2 losses were quote unquote good losses. And then, like I said, got revenge with an easy win over Smile Happy in the Bluegrass. So I really like Zandon at number 3. The last thing, solid move on the turn to get himself in position. Very important for a closer. So Zandon at number 3 for me. Number 2 is Taba. The sensation right now, the one everybody's buzzing about. And I got an email from a customer that we were talking back and forth. He says, I just don't have any clue what to do with this horse. And I get it. One race going 1 turn and an easy win, and then right into the Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby and a win. and really pretty easily as well, a couple of links. And now you go to the Derby, on a Kentucky Derby, I should say, on your third start. unprecedented times to think that this horse has a shot, but I think he certainly does. The talent is awfully, awfully large with Taba. So I've got him at number 2. I would hate to get beat by this horse one way or the other. I think he is the ultimate. I got to have him on a ticket, and if he loses, he gets 8th, 9th, 10th, doesn't show up. It's like, man, I knew he couldn't do it. But at the same time, if he wins, it's like, well, I knew he was the most talented. So he presents a problem. I said right up across the wire, Taba presents a problem because it's just, man, the talent's there, but can a horse with just his 3rd lifetime start win the Kentucky Derby? We're about to find out. I got ultimate respect for him. It was a very impressive effort in the St. Anita Derby. Okay, and then finally, number 1, I kept him number 1 again for another week here. Epicenter. I was telling people the other day, this is the horse that looks like the Derby winner, right? He checks all the boxes. Logical progression throughout his career up to this point. Win a maiden, then go a mile and 16th, and then go a mile and 8th, and then go a mile and 3/16. Everything that you're supposed to do with a Kentucky Derby contender, Steve Asmussen has done. He's progressed him beautifully. The horse has looked super sharp when stretching out a distance. You look at the Risen Star going a mile and 8th. He looked great. He won gate to wire. Next time out in Louisiana Derby, they said, hey, let's take him off the pace a couple of lengths. He stalks in 3rd, pounces at the top of the lane. It looked even better going a mile and 3/16. I mean, he's checked all the boxes. Him and Taba, to me, are very similar. The big difference being Epicenter, obviously, has checked all the boxes as far as experience, how you get a horse to the Derby, where Taba is just like, boom, here he is. Let's see if he can do it. So it's interesting in that respect. I think post position is going to be the key for either one of these. And, you cannot make a definite pick until we see these post positions. So we still got a couple of weeks to really kind of wait for that. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in a holding period with these 2 horses. Who do I put on top? Well, we'll see what they draw as far as post positions goes. One other update on Epicenter. He's currently at Churchill Downs. He shipped to Churchill Downs right after the big win there in Louisiana. He's had a couple of works over the track, looking pretty solid. His last work, he was in company with Gunnett, and it looked pretty solid. Just kind of a couple of maintenance works before the big serious one will come next week or the week after. So keep your eyes on those workouts. Keep your eyes on the post positions. That's what we're waiting on now. But that's my kind of a updated top 5. It's not a lot has changed. So we'll be back next week doing the same thing. And, day to day now, it's just, okay, the horse is still entered. Like, yesterday we lost Slow Down Andy, surprisingly. And that's kind of what these last 2 weeks are. It's waiting to see, okay, who's healthy, who's actually going to be in the race. So we'll be here for all the coverage. If a major horse drops out, we'll be here covering that as well. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching the video. Hit like if you liked it. Hit subscribe if you want to follow us and follow more videos like this. And if you hate me, go ahead and put it in the comments. Love reading them. So, all right, guys, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,